Hey, good morning, guys. Today's Tuesday, July 21st, 2020. My name is Cody. I live in northern Arizona, and this is my vlogging series on my signs and symptoms of COVID-19. So we'll start the story of my signs and symptoms showed up yesterday, which was Monday, July 20th. I am a healthcare worker here in northern Arizona and have direct contact with people that are either recovered or actively ill with COVID-19. So I came down with some symptoms, like I said, Monday, July 20th. I happened to have a day off work, so I went through one of our state credentialed drive-through COVID-19 testing tents yesterday afternoon as I started to feel achy and had a booming headache and a low-grade fever that ranged from 99.3 all the way up to 99.6. So I went through, it took me about 20 minutes. It was pretty quick. I got both the finger prick rapid test, which tests your exposure if you've been exposed to COVID in the last 4 to 5 days. And I also got the nasal swab that they said takes up to 72 hours to call back with the results. Some things I observed when getting the testing done was I heard stories of people that have been through this state credentialed line before, and they just got the rapid prick test, the blood test. And when they asked the people administering the test about their results, they said that if the rapid blood test, your exposure test basically came back negative, that meant that you were also negative for COVID-19, which is untrue. So there's some discrepancies there with these state credentialed testing places. And then also in some literature, research, and some videos I had watched about people giving the nasopharyngeal swab test, my experience objectively with the person who administered the test to me, that the individual did not really go deep with the swab back into my nasal cavity and back into my throat area, which I haven't got my test back yet, but would lead me to believe that if it came back negative, that could very much be an objective measure that perhaps the person administering the test wasn't doing it correctly or accurately, which can be a problem if, hundreds of people are rolling through there a day and the tests aren't being done to the exact science of the way they're supposed to be done, and then that's causing a great discrepancy in the test results, period. So anywho, I went through the line, got both tests. My blood test was negative for exposure. I had been known to be exposed to a patient of mine that had tested positive for COVID-19 after treating him in physical rehab for 5 days prior, leading up to the positive tests. Some of my colleagues since then have tested positive for COVID-19, and I guess I'm awaiting my test. I should hear back by hopefully Thursday. Today's Tuesday. I got it done Monday, so hopefully Thursday I get a call back with my results. As yesterday went on, my symptoms kind of grew a little worse, and some new ones popped up. I started with a headache. It wasn't really circumferential around, it was more like inside and pressure pushing out kind of through the top of my head. I was achy, mildly achy all over. Again, had that low-grade fever between 99.3 and 99.6 degrees throughout the day. I did have some shortness of breath and a dry cough, a couple bouts of diarrhea, And throughout yesterday, I just pumped fluids, water, Gatorade, tea and honey. I'm taking a zinc supplement at 50 milligrams per pill. I'm taking 75 milligrams per day of that. I'm alternating between ibuprofen at 800 milligrams every 46 hours, and also using Advil as well for the body aches. The ibuprofen seems to be helping with the fever. So as right now, I'm down. My fever's down to 97.4, which I just took the ibuprofen about an hour ago, so that seems to be working. So yesterday was kind of a crapshoot. Last night was fairly miserable. I was achy all night. I had chills, shaking, night sweats. I slept off and on for probably a half hour at a time. Wasn't very restful though. This morning I woke up with a new sign and symptom in my left bicep. I had some sharp needle pain. It wasn't a spasm. It was not a spasm. Like, it was very much a sharp digging into my biceps muscle, which, as one could imagine, is very uncomfortable. Again, still with the fever until just now. Body aches. Really, the aches are in the base of my neck and in my lower back, and then more mildly in my joints, like my hips, knees, elbows, and hands. But so far, that's where I'm at with, again, I guess I should specify that potentially this COVID-19 signs and symptoms. Oh, and I don't have any smell or taste today. The breakfast that I had no taste at all. Brushing my teeth, couldn't taste the mint in the toothpaste at all. So stay tuned for the results of my test, and I'll keep you guys posted on how my signs and symptoms either get worse or continue to get better. Today is day 2 of signs and symptoms of potentially COVID-19. See you next time.